Have you ever met someone who seems to dislike almost everyone they encounter? They don't need a reason. They don't need history. Someone walks into the room and instantly, something inside them rejects that person. No explanation. No logic. Just a quiet, automatic aversion that even they sometimes can't explain. From the outside it looks like arrogance. Or coldness. Or antisocial behavior. But psychology says something far more fascinating is happening beneath the surface. Let's decode the real psychology behind people who dislike others for no reason. 1. It is rarely about the other person. Psychologists say that when someone develops an instant or unexplained dislike for another person, the trigger is almost never truly about that person. It is about what that person represents. This is rooted in a psychological concept called projection, where unresolved feelings, traits, or fears we carry internally get transferred onto others. In simple terms, the qualities they dislike in someone else are often qualities they haven't made peace within themselves. The person who irritates you for no reason may simply be holding up a mirror you weren't ready to look into. 2. Their nervous system learned to distrust people early. Research on early attachment and social development shows that people who grew up in unpredictable, unsafe, or emotionally cold environments often develop a hypervigilant social radar. Their nervous system learned one lesson very early. People are not safe. So as adults, that programming runs automatically. Before logic can even process a new person, the body has already decided. Threat detected. Stay away. What looks like irrational dislike is often a survival response that was necessary once, but never got updated. 3. Unhealed wounds dressed as personality. Many people who carry a general dislike or distrust of others are not cold by nature. They are wounded by experience. Psychologists call this defensive detachment, a protective mechanism where a person keeps others at arm's length to avoid being hurt again. Betrayal, abandonment, humiliation, or repeated disappointment can rewire how a person relates to people entirely. What started as self-protection slowly hardens into a personality trait. They don't dislike people because they are mean. They dislike people because caring once cost them everything. 4. They are highly sensitive to inauthenticity. Here is an angle most people miss entirely. Some people who seem to dislike others for no reason are actually operating on an extremely refined social instinct. Psychologists link this to high sensitivity and emotional attunement, the ability to detect subtle inconsistencies in behavior, tone, or energy that most people overlook. They can feel when someone is performing rather than being real. When someone's words don't match their energy. And that inauthenticity, even when invisible to others, triggers a deep and immediate discomfort. They don't dislike the person. They dislike the mask. 5. Loneliness disguised as preference. This is perhaps the most painful truth. Many people who claim to dislike others or who push people away actually carry a profound loneliness inside. Psychologists describe this as an approach avoidance conflict, where a person simultaneously craves connection and fears it deeply. So they solve that internal tension by deciding they simply don't like people. It feels safer than admitting they want closeness but don't know how to have it without getting hurt. The dislike is not real. It is armor. And underneath the armor is someone who has wanted to belong for a very long time. So the next time you encounter someone who seems to dislike everyone for no reason, look past the coldness. You may be looking at someone whose trust was broken so many times that distrust became their default language. Someone whose nervous system never got the update that not everyone is dangerous. Someone who learned to push the world away before the world could push them first. Understanding this doesn't mean excusing cruelty or accepting mistreatment. But it does mean recognizing that behind every wall is a person who built it because they once needed it to survive. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can offer someone like that is not judgment. It is patience. Because walls built from pain can come down. But only when the person inside finally feels safe enough to open the door. If this changed how you see someone in your life, hit subscribe. Because on this channel we don't just observe human behavior. We go beneath it. We find the why behind the what. And sometimes understanding someone is the beginning of understanding yourself.